A new enemy for Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. A new version of a Guardian? Breath of the Wild's version of a P-Hat? Maybe it's an enemy entirely new to the series. We aren't sure just yet. Instead of being created by 𝐓𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐭𝐞𝐫, maybe it's created by the Yiga tech, which technically the Yiga are basically just evil Sheikah. So they would likely have a lot of similar technology and knowledge, just used for a more evil purpose. So imagine something like a Guardian, but instead of being created by the good guys, the Sheikah, it would be created to be much more aggressive and naturally evil by the Yiga. That's it. You wanted the news fast. There it is. If you want more details, please stay. Leave a comment below and let us know what enemies or bosses you would like to see return in Breath of the Wild 2. Darknuts, Gohma, Dark Link, Wall Masters, Skull Kids, Bongo Bongo, Ghosts, or Pose, maybe those aliens that Nintendo teased. We will give you a shout out and read some of your answers on our next video. And make sure you wait till the end of this video for a very quick top 5 enemies that we would like to see in Breath of the Wild 2. Hello everyone and welcome. Today we have some quick news. A few days ago, we reported on some Breath of the Wild 2 leaks. A new easy mode that introduces tweaks to the item system and some other stuff. You can check out that video if you want more information. We ended the video with a hint at what the second leak was, a new Guardian-like enemy. So getting into even more detail, we began this video with the basics for people who just wanted to get the important details and get out, without any proof or anything like that. So for those of you who stayed for the details, let's be clear. This is a rumor. Some things have changed though. Since I spoke out about being sent information on Breath of the Wild 2, that information was confirmed by multiple people. One of the people that confirmed that piece of news gave me something new, which we're talking about in this video. But I have not been able to confirm it with other people. This only comes from the one woman who confirmed a rumor sent by a different source. However, since then, I have been sent even more rumors, which are likely just fake and people hoping they can get their 15 seconds of fame by having their favorite Zelda YouTuber spread their rumor. So just for the entertainment's sake, we will discuss some of the best and worst of these rumors on our next episode of the Hylian Gamescast. And trust me, some of them are just hilariously awful. Don't bother sending in fake rumors. As we explained in our last video, we have friends who work at Nintendo and actual insiders who are just well known in the gaming industry for being insiders or leakers. That is where the real information comes from. So here's what I was told. A new take on an old enemy. Similar to how the Guardians in Breath of the Wild won. In interviews, Aonuma said the idea for the Guardians came because they wanted to create an enemy that was as threatening as the Octoroks from the first game. These massive creatures that chase you down and shoot projectiles at you, and are scattered across the entire game. This is basically the same concept, but even more aggressive. I was told to think of it as an enemy around the same size or larger than a Guardian, but with multiple stages, like the Guardians you see inside the shrines during the tests of strength. Those Guardians will charge at you or give melee attacks. Then when close to being defeated, they enter their second stage and start spinning in circles while shooting a laser everywhere. These new enemies will have multiple stages like those Guardians. The first stage will be similar to the Guardians that we are already used to, but the second stage will have their head or top half pop off and chase you down, or split into multiple smaller enemies that need to be taken down with arrows. An example. Think about playing Breath of the Wild and cutting the legs off of a Guardian where they can't move. So instead of remaining stationary and just shooting you with a laser, they break apart and turn into something like the Flying Guardians. Now, on my Discord, which you can join if you want to stay up to date on Zelda news, leaks, or rumors before we even make the videos about them, I gave some hints saying, think of Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time. Something from Majora's Mask would be returning. I was talking about the P-Hats. In Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, they are just as terrifying as coming across a Guardian for the first time. Instead of shooting lasers and chasing you down with metal tentacles, imagine those tentacles becoming sharp metal blades spinning like a helicopter propeller, and those blades chasing you down. That is what I was hinting at. The P-Hats have been in almost every Zelda game and literally every 3D Zelda game except Breath of the Wild. They have taken on many forms, from being enemies that actually help you complete a dungeon to something chasing you down like an attack helicopter. So it was odd when they didn't make an appearance in Breath of the Wild. We can see many different concepts for guardians and divine beasts that didn't make it into the actual game. So I'm wondering if this is an enemy that was left out of, or could have possibly made it into the Breath of the Wild Creating a Champion book, or if it's an entirely new concept designed after Breath of the Wild. After all, with Calamity Ganon gone, there is nothing left to control the guardians, so the guardians wouldn't be there to attack you. So Breath of the Wild 2 would need an entirely new enemy to take the place of the Guardian, unless they just want to repeat the same story again where the Calamity just magically comes back and magically takes over the Guardians once again. I think the Guardians will remain, but I do think something will take their place. Something new, something fresh. And this sounds like the perfect thing, which is why I personally choose to believe this rumor. But unlike the last rumor, I have no second confirmation. But unlike the last rumor, this only has one source. I've not been able to confirm it with any of my other friends. I don't know if this new enemy is a new version of a Guardian, Breath of the Wild's version of a P-Hat, or some sort of mix of the two. As for it separating into multiple smaller enemies, we have seen this a lot in past Zelda games, but never with the P-Hats. Let us know your thoughts on all of this, and if you want to chat with us, please join our Zelda Discord, where we are always active, discussing Zelda theories, rumors, leaks, and much more. Now, for the top 5 enemies we would like to see. 𝐓𝐽𝐽𝐽 or some type of dragon. Like, I want to actually have a boss fight with the 3 dragons from Breath of the Wild. Something like 𝐼𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐿, 𝐓𝐽�𝐽, or the Parasite boss fight in Skyward Sword. Obviously, Dark Nuts need to return, and be as intimidating as the Golden Lynels. We need some type of Gohma to return, Skull Kids, and of course, Dark Link. Again, let us know which enemies you would like to see return in the comments below.